Hey everybody, welcome back. Just want to touch on this a little bit more. Listen, there is a lot going to happen in the next few months. What I'm seeing is I'm thinking a lot more towards summer. It's going to increase even more probably through the mid. I'm thinking June, July. I know the Lord showed me June at the beginning of January, saying June is going to be a great change in everything that we do. We have to understand we are in this, not saying rapture time, but the tribulation time, the start of it. We are in it. I totally believe this. And I believe there's a time that we're going to go through these beginning birth pains, trials. There's too much fear. We're fearing the wrong person. We're not fearing God. We're putting fear in the devil's hands and letting him control us with fear. The fear of God is to know what God can do. The things that are happening here on this earth. You got to understand the devil is all about tricks. The devil's all about scheming things. He's all about making you see things that you believe is true. You got to watch what the right hand's doing now. Forget about the left hand. We all seen what it does. It's nonsense. Too much focus on what Biden's doing. Too much focus on what Putin's saying. I'm not saying it's not right to watch it, to see what's going on. But if it brings disruption in your time with the Lord, cut it loose. I don't know if I ever did that whole thing before when I was on the boat with Jesus and Paul, and the ropes were being cut loose, and the things all around it that was cut loose from my life. Sometimes we got to allow Jesus to cut loose these things. We got to allow these things to be taken and let him dispose of them. The devil will keep bringing your stuff back. When you get a couple steps forward, he wants you to slide down a slide even further to make you feel you're really shameful. He's never going to forgive you this time. Well, like I said, we put ourselves there. We put ourselves there. You know, we look at the times that's happening. Look at the things there. We have the wars. We have rumors of wars. And it's about as far as it's going. Is there going to be threats on this United States ground? Yes. Did China put those balloons up here? Or did we? Is this another 9/11 effect? I don't know. I'm not saying the Lord told me this stuff. This is the stuff I think about. This is the stuff that goes on in my mind. Because I'm paying attention to the right hand. I don't care what the left hand's doing. That left hand's ridiculous to me. It shows too much. Too fast, too quick. It's like going into a buffet and you're upset because there's empty trays. Well, I'm excited because I just keep waiting and waiting my turn. Then when they bring it out, I go up here and I get fresh, hot stuff. And then I thank the Lord because he showed me favor. I get nice, fresh, hot stuff. About as fresh as it is back there cooking, who knows? Anyways, this is the time for prayer. This is the time to ask Lord to start pulling stuff out of you. This is the time that we seek God and we seek Jesus in our secret times. He's going to reveal what he wants. We got to be ready to listen. Defeating the enemy is easy. We have the power, we have the authority. You just got to use it. You got to stand in confidence. Now, I agree, there's some demons. It may take a couple people to pray, fast, cast out these demons. I don't give up until something happens. I'll pray and pray and pray and pray. The Lord showed me 30 days. He said, I want you to come into this for 30 days with me. I'm going to reveal something in your life. I'm going to put you into the next step. Okay? I know somebody commented in my email saying that post that you left on that person saying that your videos are too long. I said, what about it? I'm tired of it. If it's too long, like I said before, if it's too long, maybe the Lord's keeping you there to listen and keeping you from doing something else you're not supposed to be doing, or keeping you from harm's way. If that's not the case and it's too long, then why are you watching? You see clearly how long the videos are. It's like what you're asking me is to put God in a box and put a time on it. I don't put a time on God. I will never put a time on God. I did that way too many times and look where it got me. If you want to go down that avenue of depression, you want to go down the avenue of sorrow, you want to go down the avenue of suicidal thoughts, you want to go down the avenue of pouring substance into your body, then you go right on ahead. That's called a free will. I've been there. I tasted it all. And let me tell you what, it has got me nothing but heartache, broken bones, wrecked cars. People, I couldn't even tell you how many cars I've wrecked. I've literally rolled one car and I smashed the top of the hood, the rooftop completely down. And I was able to get out the back. Back when the old cars still had to crank down windows. Think about how many times I've been spared. There's been times we'd go up there trying to get whatever we could, personal belongings, out of my cars. And I remember one time the guy at the tow yard looked and said, whoever was driving this car, if they're alive, I'm going to be surprised they're laying in the hospital. And I was like, no, it's me. He said, this just happened yesterday. I said, yeah, I know. God had a purpose. It's not finished yet, but it will be. I never understood why we are on a couple lane road and a paramedic comes and they still want us to pull over when they're clearly, I'm in the middle of farm country. I mean, seriously, I'm in North Dakota. Sorry, not North Dakota. Nebraska. I'm heading to South Dakota. Pick up a load and head back up north. Where are they going to turn? There's like hardly there's population out here on the road, me and one other driver ahead of me. Just saying, I've always wondered why we still have to pull over. I can understand if there's a lot of roads and they're going to turn, but unless they're going four-wheel driving through a cornfield, good luck. But anyways, random thoughts, I guess. I'm not being rude with anybody. Not at all. I'm just saying, you know, I've said that a lot on videos. If it's too long, then I said the same thing. Maybe God's keeping you from something. Or just don't watch it. Yeah, I didn't put a lot to it because I have a lot going on. There's a lot of things changing right now and a lot of things that, spending time in prayer, coming out of it and writing things down. A lot of it, like I'm sharing with you right now. We have lost We have lost where the Lord is. We have lost where God is. Your grade cards, it's time for your report card to be handed out to you. Would you like it mailed to you, or would you like me to give it to you? Well, great. I don't like waiting on the mail to come either. It takes too long. I'm an impatient person sometimes when it comes to the mail. Especially when you're tracking stuff and you see United States Postal Service at USPS and you're going, yeah, how long is this going to take? Sometimes it doesn't even come. Anyways, here it goes. Like this. A, B, C, D, or an F. In the area that we are in the United States of trusting God. Not my grade card now. I'm just telling you what the Lord showed me. D. Christians are not trusting God. We go off our own understandings. Look at the churches. The churches are spiritual asleep. Churches are allowing the transgender stuff to come into the churches. Churches are allowing God to be taken out of everything. We, the church, not a church building. Forget about it, the church building right now. That's just a building made out of wood, bricks, whatever the heck it's made out of. We are the church. We are allowing it. Somebody else is going to do it. Yeah, I'll sign a paper as long as I don't have to go do anything, because we're lazy. We want God to do everything. We want Jesus to come to the meet point, but yet then we want him to come pick us up and carry us to the meet point. I'm trying to think of an old car that everybody would know. A Maverick, a Ford Maverick. If you don't know it, Google it, look it up. You brought a Ford Maverick, Lord, to pick me up. I was expecting a stretch limo with the AC on. And all my favorite foods and all my favorite drinks. Think about it. Hasn't he done enough? It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to go out in this world and to change it. Nothing's going to change if we sit still, and they know it. The devil knows it. The devil knows we are going to sit still. He doesn't have to do anything. He just tells his goons to go out there and do what they want. Yes, I call them goons. And I'm being nice. What do you call it? It's nonsense. They're so confused. We're allowing so many things to take place. Don't forget, and I know I went through a long conversation with someone. They said, well, Nelson, listen, sometimes, man, you say stuff that's pretty offensive. Do I? Maybe you need to hear it. Then he says, we can't change the government. Look, they cheated through an election. I said, let the election go, man. Let it go. Enough with this. We know it was rigged. We know it was fixed. They tried to do it again with the House and the Senate that just passed. Let it go. If you think all this nonsense stimulus money, why do you think they were giving the seniors a $500, $800, $1,200? Man, it kept going anywhere else. They didn't care about them any other time. Matter of fact, they're using their Social Security and haven't given them a raise, haven't done anything for anybody on Social Security. They're living in places they probably would have never chose to live because they had no idea that they were going to retire. And the generation, you want to know something sick? Here you go. Here's where we fall into this category. Now I want you to look at this. Your kids that are growing up under you, they're in their teens, getting ready to graduate school. They're the ones that's going to pay for your retirement. I hope the heck you ain't counting on Social Security. Because if you are, look how many of them don't want to get a job. Look how many of them want to just sit at home. Look how many of them that complain because they don't have this or that. Well, McDonald's down the road, Tyron. It'll do you some good. just saying, we're allowing our children to be lazy. We're allowing the schools to tell us that COVID, we don't have to do our jobs. You're going to be the teachers now, and you're going to do all this on a laptop that you went and picked up out of a bus. And you're just as lost as everybody else because there's no instructions. They don't give you nothing. Then you go pick up a pack of paper. Well, you don't have to worry about doing the crafts. You don't have to worry about doing it. Well, if you don't get it all done, it's okay. We're just going to score it, whatever, so we can keep our numbers up, so we can get whatever funding we need for the school for the next year. Anybody find anything wrong yet? I used to be amazed some of the stuff the kids would do. Today, I don't know. I haven't really talked to any of them, but the last I heard, the oldest daughter was married to a guy that isn't so great. That's all I'm going to say. Actually, one time told me, I will take you, beat you down, and kill you. And I'm thinking, this is coming from, I think, from what I heard, she finally married this guy. And I'm thinking in my head going, two things. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. And I kept telling myself this. Second thing. You can't do anything to me unless God gives you the authority. And then either way, it's a win-win for me. I'm going home. You understand? I would lay there and go, here, you're going to shoot me? Make sure you get the heart. Don't shoot me in the head. Don't shoot me in the legs. Right there, buddy. I will personally walk up, put that gun right to my heart and let you pull the trigger. And if anybody thinks I'm joking, you're sadly mistaken. No, I'm all right. Trust me, people. I am totally all right. I'm not losing my mind. I'm just coming to bring you this so it gets in your head. Where I'm going with all this is right here. She goes to work. He stays at home. He sells stuff that he shouldn't be selling, which also was a lie. I knew this person. I told my daughter, I said, this is exactly who this person is. No, it's not. It's somebody else, Dad. Okay, yes, I'm stupid. Welcome to planet Earth. I just got here yesterday. I'm glad to meet you all. Here, let me shake your hand. This is how naive these people are by listening to the devil too many years. But if that's the life they want, this is fine. I have no pity. I have no mercy. The same as I would not expect God to have mercy over me. But he did. You just said you wouldn't. I don't have pity for you. I will pray for her, but that's it. I will not hand anything else over. If you knew, you watched me go to work every day, even though you watched the things unfold that happened, never did I do the wrong thing. I still went to work. I still provided. I still made sure you have food on the table. Not so much their mother. I didn't care. After a while, I was like, listen. I literally sat her down one time and I said, let's just get one thing straight. I am in this household to make sure my kids don't have to put up with the nonsense you bring in. Second, I'm only here long enough until they're old enough. And I don't have to go through the courts, I don't have to go through babysitters, I don't have to go through all this nonsense and pay more money out that you keep trying to get. When that day comes, I have nothing. I don't care what the woman did. It was never love. It was love for the children. The devil used the children then, he uses the children now. The only thing is I'm a little bit wiser and a little bit older. A little bit more here. I pray, I give it to the Lord, and I walk away. That's it. If you still got young children, it's not too late to change them. The world is trying to make it where they're confused. Listen to some of the stuff they're listening to. I listened to a video where the guy was playing. This is what his son brought home from school. And it was a bunch of guys dressed up like women singing a song, and I've mentioned this before. Singing a song, we are going to take your children, we are going to confuse their mind, we are going to do bad things to them, and they are going to cry. What kind of nonsense and what kind of people allows this to go on? Take a look outside. Take a look. If you got children in your life, let me tell you right now, the first sign if something's going wrong is a child that stops talking. You better start checking what they're doing. You better start checking those cell phones, computers, laptop. You better start looking at the video games they're playing. You don't know who they're talking to. They don't even know who they're talking to. We are failing God. We fear the outside. We fear what's on the outside of our windows. Oh my gosh, we're going to run out of food. Maybe. They're definitely rising. Portions are getting smaller. I'm not worried. You know why I'm not worried? Because you go back to Moses. When God poured down the manna. That wasn't enough. They complained about that. We could have been back there eating good. Well, then go back. The Egyptians would love to have you. Who else wants to go visit the Egyptians? Well, they don't do that anymore now. You're right. And wrong at the same time. Slavery. Let's just open up this box because I was just called a racist. Because I talk about American Africans in the video where I talk about being jumped. Yeah? How am I a racist? I have black people in my family. Where am I racist? Like most of my grandchildren are mixed. You really want to go back? Follow the timeline back. We all come from Adam and Eve. Just saying. So I guess we're all a little racist. I'm not saying what cops are doing. I'm not saying what anybody's doing right now is right. Nothing's right now. This world isn't right. And if you think this is going to get better, people, it's going to increase. I'm not bringing you bad news. I'm just bringing you the truth. You don't like what I'm saying? You can turn this off, or you can go to prayer and start asking God and start asking Jesus more into your life to spare you from what's coming. I tell you right now, if you believe anything I've spoken in that hell video, in the videos, in these things that I've been speaking on here, if you really think that you're strong enough to get through with Jesus' presence, not here on this earth at all, because when he takes the people home, there will be no connection to Jesus. No. You're going to have to show the Father yourself, and that's what I said. The only way that's going to happen is if your body doesn't scan, the forehead or the right hand does not scan, they're going to lock you up. And then they're going to start making examples out of you, which they will take off your head. They will behead you. The Bible clearly states it. I've seen it. ISIS done it. The very things the Lord said that they would say, they did. We will stop sharpening our knives. Their swords. Look at it. It's all happened. He's given you warning. Everything God said, I will show you the signs before they come, to wake you up, to give you an opportunity to make yourself right. But you don't want to let go of the flesh. We can't let go of the flesh because we see our children as a puppy, that cute little puppy. Oh. They grow up to be what? Put your foot down. It's time to go. No, I've had enough. If you continue, and I'm guilty of this. I did everything I possibly could. I remember one year for Christmas, my son wanted an Xbox. I don't know squat about megabytes and all this bytes and gigabytes and Pac-Man's bites and whatever else bites. I know if a horse bites you, it kind of hurts, especially if they get a hold of you very bad. And I know if a pit bull gets a hold of you, good luck. I know about those bites. I've never been bit by one, but I had one put it was a friend of mine. Luckily, he knew the commands of this dog, and there was no getting out of it. What you think about it? So I went out, got him an Xbox. But he was also responsible. Did his homework, got good grades. I never really worried about it. I kept an eye on it, but I never really worried about it. So Christmas time rolls around, he opens it up. Dad, it doesn't have whatever, the memory or whatever. I'm like, I didn't know. And he got kind of upset about it, and in all reality, that stuff hurts. I worked a lot of hours because you think about it, I'm single. I have no other income coming in but whatever I bring in because I testified through the divorce. There was no child support order. She gave me a check one time, I think it was for $100 out of all the years. And I think that was when I first started dating Darlene, because she wanted to look like a good person. You can't deceive people because the ugliness that's in you shows. But you think about it, it's amazing. The boastfulness, the pridefulness, the world that we're living in right now, exactly where we should be on our timeline. I remember I said the Father is here on earth, he's going around the earth, he went around the earth, he examined everything. On the way back, the Lord said, from Revelation, now he went from Genesis to Revelation. On the way back, he's going from Revelation to what? Genesis. Do you see the events taking place? Can you match what's going on right now in Isaiah? Can you imagine what's going on in Exodus? Back to the beginning of creation. People were there. We're at Noah's days. We're at the Sodom and Gomorrah. We've been seeing this, but it's way out of whack now. We're ungrateful. We're unselfish. Boastfulness. Pride. Lovers of themselves. We're there. Read the Bible. It's in it. I'm telling you. I'm just going to run down a list of things that I've been hearing. People don't believe that I hear from the Lord. A lot of this stuff is exaggerated. Maybe your children left for certain reasons. All I say is, when you're in Akron, Ohio, look me up. And I'll give you a first-class tour of it. I'll take you to the house that still stands that I was in that demonic realm. I'll take you to the churches. I'll take you to the very places where things were buried. Let's dig it up and see what's there, because I guarantee it, there is nobody been back in those areas. We'll see then. We'll see how ungrateful these children really are. Point the finger, that's what they do. That's what the devil does. But they have a choice, just like we do. And I'm going to say this, and this will be the last time that this comes from me too. If all of this is made up, what am I getting from this? I spend a lot of time doing these videos. I spend a lot of time doing what the Lord has called me to do. Show me where I have gained for anything. taken a lot over the time, and I've taken a lot even on here with stuff that just gets deleted before you guys see the comments. I'm just done. We are in a time that we need to start fearing God again. The Lord said, when the hour of judgment comes, there will be no more words. And that's when I told you, it's going to look like a big giant bulldozer blade coming across the earth, and everything's going to disappear. The new kingdom at the same time will be lowered down. People, if you're still in human flesh, you're going to be like vacuumed, per se, right into hell. Believe me or don't, all I can say is when it happens, because if you're not strong enough to stand up now, you're going to take that chip. I'm sorry, you're going to. I see too many people doing it. We're allowing them to shut down fossil fuels, vehicles. It's coming. I just told you, Cheeto just went out and bought a bunch of those electric trucks. Electric cars, electric this, electric that, because they train us. They keep training us to think this is okay. They put stuff in movies. Look at that train wreck. These people were all extras in a movie. And now it happens right there, the way it happened in the movie, and now it happens to them. Do you think this is all a coincidence? Do you think some of this stuff in the movies, iRobot, this certain lady on there talking about interaction with that, I've been talking about this for months. You're coming on here like this, God just revealed this to you because more and more people are talking about it. False prophets we will see in the end times. Hitting motives, hitting agendas. God said to correct them out of love. I do. I don't want to. When he tells me to go, I go. Just like I said, if he tells me to go across the street, I'm going to go across the street. If it's pouring down rain and someone stops, sir, would you like to get in the car? Sir, would you like an umbrella? No, no, no. Because he didn't tell me to take anything. He didn't tell me to get in the car yet. He didn't tell me to accept an umbrella. I will stand here in the rain. I know you don't understand, but thank you very much. Thank you for your care and concern. Maybe he's just testing you to see if you would have enough compassion in your life to pull over and offer someone instead of splashing the water all over you. If you're being convicted right now, thank God for the Spirit that's with you. If you're getting disgusted with this, then thank the devil because he's trying to pull you away from it. Wow, no, so that's bad. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you agreed with me because there's no other way to look at it. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to take the spiritual sleep off of you. It's time to put you out there. I told you the videos are not going to get any easier. And I'm giving you right now, if this is too much, you're always welcome back. But they're not going to be, you're going to have to probably do some catch up on there. But I guarantee you, they're not going to get any easier because the times aren't getting any easier. The times we are falling and we need to rise up. We need to grab a hold of each other. You need to really start looking at the brothers and sisters that's in your life, that's around your neighborhoods. You need to look. You need to start looking. Because if we're left here, we're going to need each other. You don't think we're going to be able to travel by cars and buses and boats and planes, do you? No, they're shutting that down little by little. Watch and see how this year turns out. Watch and see how they're. I mean, look, they tried to turn off our gas stoves. Oh, it's because of this. If you take the same pan, put it in an electric oven, turn it on the heat higher, a little bit higher up because electric ovens work different. And you burn the same stuff and you look at the same effect. Gas or electric, it does the same effect. It puts off the same toxin. That's why they're vented. Our hot water tanks in our furnaces are vented. Our stoves aren't. So what does that tell you? If it's not vented, it don't need to be vented. We do have exhaust fans, and I'm not talking about the fake ones that just mount up underneath your cupboard. If you can open your cupboard and you see a tube going up through you, right above your stove, if there's a round tube going upwards, then it's vented to your roof. You can turn on your exhaust fan. Otherwise, everything's just getting trapped. There's a little oil, there's a filter, aluminum filter under there. They get too bad, you can replace them. But you should take those things down every so often and clean them. I know, I used to go in people's apartments all the time and clean them. Because they were afraid of fire. They were older people. This is when I worked in the 55 and older. And if they got too bad, I would change them out. The same as I would go in there and look at their filters and stuff. Check the smoke detector batteries. Have to change them every spring forward, fall back. I would change the smoke detector batteries for them. Look at the filters, clean them out. I had the ones that they had were ones that I could spray off and let them dry and put them back in. They were vinyl. Listen, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready. Doesn't mean it's going to come. Don't mean you're going to be left here. I'm not saying we're going to get left here. I'm saying look at what's going on. If you think this is easy for me to get on here and do this, it's not. I didn't want to do this. I've been putting this off for a little bit now. And it's funny, Darlene was talking about another video where a guy said the same thing, and I'm like, I knew when she was telling me about that video, I knew God was speaking to me. Same thing with putting stuff on YouTube. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it for this very reason right here. It's what we're going to do and how we do it is from this moment on. Because that report card isn't so great right now, people. We're not in a good place. I gave a teaching a while back on the ATM. I think that's what I'm going to do this Sunday. I think I'm going to do a part on God's timing in the ATM. So, for some reason, you can't go to church for snowed in because I'm driving right into this nonsense that's coming, and I'm going right. It's just going to follow me all the way up, or I'm going to follow it all the way up. At this point, I think I'm going to follow it all the way up because they're taking me further and further into this nonsense. But it's okay. I fear not what happens, but I'm confident of where I'm going if something does happen. It's a dangerous job driving these big boys down the road, especially when the roads get like this. It's crazy. But life is just as scary. I had a lady call me. She says, my son and my oldest daughter won't do anything in the house. They won't listen. They come in whenever they want. She says, do you have any advice for this? And I laughed. I said, where's the kid's father? Not in the picture. I said, really? Go figure. I said, how old are you? 16, 19. 19. Which one? The male or the female? My son. 19 years old. Does he work? No. Runs around with his friends all night, drinking and everything else. At 19. Yes. Change the locks. She said, what? I said, change the locks. Let him sit outside for a moment. And when he's sober, bring him in, introduce him to a mop, introduce him to a broom, a vacuum, a washing machine, some Windex, cleaner, show him where the bathroom is. He's got time to run around and party and do all that and sit around and use your electricity. I'll tell you what I would do. I'd clean his bedroom out. I'd give him a piece of foam, throw it on the bed, throw it on the floor. I'd give him a blanket, a thin one, a real thin pillow. Nelson, wait. I'd take all the clothes out. I'd give him a couple white t-shirts and a pair of sweatpants and some flip-flops. Give him a toothbrush, a bar of soap, and a towel. Well, that sounds like prison. You got it. You might as well get him used to it now. She started laughing. She goes, oh my God. What? Where am I wrong? If that's what he wants to live, then let him do it. It's your roof. I used to tell my kids all the time, I tell you what my responsibilities are. To make sure you're safe, keep you out of trouble, to teach you, put a roof over your head, which you have. You have food, you have clean clothes, you have clothes, you go to school, you have an opportunity, you go to these trade school things, it's career schools, whatever you want to call them. You have cosmetology, you got culinary. My son went into body work. I used to work on cars, so I thought, yeah, there's a lot of money in that stuff. But he went more on the automotive, the body work style, which I also done. He graduated. My youngest daughter did. She went back with her mom. Mom don't care. And it's my fault. I said, how's it my fault? Seriously, how is it my fault? You had all this stuff. You get with the guy that beat you. You get with the guy that took a baseball bat and literally almost killed you. Your son is growing up the same way. And you find no fault in this. You find like it's everybody's fault. Talks to me like I'm nothing. I said, when did I raise you up to be like this? If this is how you're going to talk, when you're able to talk to me with respect, call me. Haven't heard from her since. You owe me that. I don't owe you nothing. I gave to you, you refused it. God gives to us, it's up to me to accept it, or it's up to me to refuse it. I refused it too long. I refused his son. I had to learn his son, but look what I had to go through to learn it. If you think what I'm saying is really hard to hear, it's that hard love. I would rather give hard love. They hold grudges, these kids. I'll give you another example. My son was about 16, I think, when he decided he was going to leave. Told me I was not his father. Told me this is not his house. Took his stuff. Went underneath our big pine tree in the front yard waiting on a ride to come. 16. Sit out there, it started raining. I walked out there and I just looked at him and I said, what are you doing? Waiting on a ride. Alright. You're gonna get cocky with me? I'm going back in the house. I went in there and got some trash bags. Brought them out to him. I said, you might want to put your Xbox and stuff in here if you're gonna sit out here. Later on tells me this. You left me under that tree, Dad. You didn't care for me. You didn't let... No, oh, it's my fault. Right. I get it. This is right after you took me to court and I was almost arrested. Right after you jumped up off a couch at me and balled up your fist. Right after we were outside and you come running up behind me and got me right up underneath my rib cage and stuff and knocked the wind out of me. I could go down the right afters. The way you talk to me and everything else, you see where the disrespect is? I don't put up with it. Maybe they are right. Maybe I am a little too stern on things. That's why I say I appreciate your prayers. I really do. But I ask that you pray that they find Jesus. Because my prayer is this. This is what I pray over people. If you're in a lifestyle like that, I pray this. I pray the book of Job, where the devil went in, the beginning of it, when the Lord and God standing there and he's saying, where were you? To and fro. So you think about all this, okay? Think about it. Now just hear me out. Think about it. When the devil cast all the stuff, he was told, you cannot take Job's life. So I'm saying, okay, well, I'm going to pray this then. Lord, in your holy name, I pray the devil has to take these tricks and schemes, whether they're idolizing cars, finances, their homes, whatever is in their life. I ask that you start removing this stuff from their life that the devil had put in place to deceive them. And let's see how fast, when they hit that rock bottom, see if they come with a repenting heart and truly seek you. But I ask for their spiritual eyes to be open to you and the words of you, and anybody else that speaks of your words, let them hear it, to come with that receiving heart. Then I ask for a godly mentor and a godly spouse to be put in their life. None of this other nonsense. Today I identify. I don't care what you identify as. You cannot come to me and tell me I must accept this. No, I don't have to accept it. Then you cannot get upset with me if I call you sir. Because you look like a guy, you dress like a guy, you want to talk like a guy, you want to ball up your fists like a guy, and you want to swing like a guy. I'm defending myself. Now you want to go into the woman. He hit a woman. Really? And judges and people don't want to do nothing about it. I've just seen this. Just seen it. The guy that hit the guy identifies as a guy, changed their name to a guy because they still have women's parts. The guy went to jail. He went to jail for 90 days. 90 days for an assault. Because he punched someone and balled up their fist and swung at him but missed, but he punched him back. Because that person never contacted him. And they hit first. What kind of world are we living in? That this is the new norm. I don't want it. Can you see what's going on, people? I'm telling you all this stuff to give you ideas so you can think about it, so you can go, yeah, I see it now. Because I don't think people are seeing this. Look how many people, I said a while back, and again, I'm not going to put her name out there. I said a while back, there's a hidden agenda somewhere. Now this person's talking about their Christian music that they're doing. God took you out of country music and he put you in Christian music. You wasn't faithful in country music. Why would he put you in making Christian music? Because it's the same temptations. Either way, it's crazy. Look at the fruits, people. Jesus said at the fig tree when they walked by it, he said, if you come back and they're still not presenting fruit, we will tear it up and throw it to the lake of fire. If what's in your life is not producing fruit, you need to tear it up and throw it into the lake of fire. You need to start doing and showing Jesus your faith where he is. Now, I'm not saying to disown your children. I'm not saying any of that. God is in control of everything, and I'm at peace with that. To love someone is to be able to pray for them. That's why I say I love my children, because I can pray for them. It's the best I can do. Because they don't listen. They don't want to listen. All they want is dad to sign a check. Because that's what they were taught. And they were taught to disrespect me because that's what they see. It doesn't matter. What matters is we change today. And I'm being serious. I would. 19 years old and that boy don't want to go get a job? Oh my gosh. Send him my way, I said. That boy will be coming home crying. I think I'm going to make a Christian boot camp. Maybe not. Because you might be willingly sending your kids back. What the world did you do? Well, I taught him how to finally grow up. But it's hard. You know, you have to look at a single woman raising a male son without a father, and the father's not even present. Not saying the daughters can't get pretty nasty, because I've seen that too. But most likely, that male's going to buck up against there because there's no male figure authority. And he knows, probably closer to the end of the separation, usually choice words are being spoken in disrespect and a lack of respect in so many different ways. But either way, look at what's going on. Look what's going on in your own household. Grandkids. How many of you can honestly raise your hand right now and saying that you're pretty much raising your grandchildren? Because your children don't want the responsibility, but they want to. I love this person. You do? You just met him 2 days ago. You don't know what love is. Either way, I'm going to do some more on this, but I want you to think about these things right now, and I'll bring the rest of it to surface. Heavenly Father, I just ask that these words are heard, and I just ask that they start looking what you're doing right now and the things that are coming. We have to be prepared, and to be prepared is to seek you, to seek your Son. Father, I thank you for being here on this earth. I thank you for examining this earth and opening our eyes to these things, waking us up out of this spiritual sleep that the devil is trying to put everybody in. Father, I thank you for your love and your mercy and your grace. I thank you for loving us, that you sent your Son to give us eternal life again, back with you, to rescue us. I thank you. I'm speaking for myself because I cannot speak for anybody else. But if they want to, then they can also add it into their prayer. Father, I thank you for the discipline that you do in my life. I thank you for the correction. I thank you for loving me that much that you're willing to discipline me and willing to correct me, because I appreciate that you never spared that rod, but you protected me through it. I had to go through the trials, but you protected me, and I was never harmed or taken from this world. I thank you, Lord Jesus. I thank you, Lord Jesus, for that was scary. The guy just pulled right in front of me, and I'm sliding right at him. and I'm looking right at the car, and there's a child. See, this is the stuff, and I'm not taking it lightly on an adult, but when I see them children, and all I see is this truck coming right at them, and it's always on the child's side, I just want to stop the truck, walk up to there, and go, was it worth it? Was it worth putting your child at risk that I just about caved in the side of this there, and then you're going to be screaming at me? It's his fault, it's his fault. Look what he did to my child. No, look what you did. Because you didn't use your common sense. That's coming. I should have did that one first. Oh. You see what the devil's doing? The devil's even trying to stop prayer. You agree or disagree? I'm not here to debate it. I'm just saying. I'm in prayer, praying, and the devil don't want you to hear it. He don't want you to hear the truth of it. That's why he does stuff like that. He doesn't care about them people in that car. Obviously, the parents don't even care. Look, the guy looked right at me. You know what that tells me? He doesn't take his child too much with him. Unbelievable. Well, Lord, thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for rescuing me. Thank you for taking on all that you've taken on. Thank you for teaching obedience. Thank you for showing me how to be obedient. Thank you for walking with me, carrying me when I'm down, lifting me up when I'm weak, comforting me when I'm sad. Thank you for showing me the visions of the things that you have given me. Thank you for walking with me along this and making me understand it in the way that you want me to, and not of the world's ways. Thank you for giving me the strength to go on and continue on to do these things. Thank you for the people that appreciate it, that they're receiving from it. Most of all, let it change their lives, Lord. Let it change their lives to where they're going to be on fire. They're going to pick up that Bible even more, and they're going to come to you even more. We can meet up in that sky. Lord, thank you for going to the cross. Thank you for taking on all sin, leaving it in the grave, sealing that grave, defeating hell, and locking the gates. Thank you, Lord. Praise this in your holy name. Lord, I ask this, and your blood be over it, and your protection in this day. Give me the thirst and the hunger, Lord, for the word, the communication with you and the Father. Let me come into that in my prayer time. Let me come to you through all things, whether I understand it or don't. Lord, let it be done under your name and your authority, and let nothing else be done. Let these chains be broken, Lord. Let these ears be opened. Let this blindness be seen. And let the people truly see what is going on. Let us today make a new day and change today. For tomorrow will be different, because today we stood up and said no more. Let it be done, Lord, in your name, in your authority, in your blood. And let these chains fall from us. In your gracious holy name. Amen. All right, guys. Till the next one. Don't know when it's going to be. But I do appreciate you guys. I thank you for the comments. I don't know. I might take a couple days to just answer some comments. I don't know. I know I'm in this time right now with the Lord. And we'll see what he's got. I'm ready to hear some interesting stuff and bring it to you. Look at yesterday, guys. Change today. Look at tomorrow. Don't focus on tomorrow. Let's get through today. God bless you. Thank you. Till the next one.